Okay, I don't feel like waiting for that to go through. Anyway, so Digimon Survive. Huh. This ought to be interesting. So I've played through part of this game already in my own time. And I will say it doesn't start with all those people showing on the main menu. Delete all autosave data and suspended battle data. Hang on. So what I have in here as far... I don't think... because that was the same... Wow. Run on train of thought there much? Oh man, anyway. So I've gotten through part of the game already in my own time. And I don't think if I start a new game that it'll get rid of those save files other than the autosave. But I thought as a bit of a break from Darksiders stuff, I'd play some of this on stream and YouTube. Also, I don't think there's a way of getting them to speak English, so... So otherwise, it's just a matter of reading the text to get sort of the translation of it. Okay, so... that definitely looked like freaking Gabumon. That looks like Renamon. Who, like... do they even... I don't know. As far as I've played in this game... I guess there's this initial battle here. Yeah, initial battle here. But otherwise, so far, they don't really seem to be available. Anyway, time to learn some of the basics of battle. In battle, the order in which units act is determined by their speed. Let's start with movement. Okay, move. Area displayed on the grid represents the range. You can rotate the camera using bumpers or adjust the zoom with triggers. It's also important to switch over to the camera to get a full grasp of your situation. The way it says switch over to the camera is just weird there. Now move to the blinking square. Da, da, da. Okay. Now let's prepare an attack. Here you will see information on the skills you can use. This includes the skill's effect, SP cost, range, and area. Which, by the way, range is how far it reaches. Area is how many spaces it hits, essentially. It's, yeah. Should have waited for the game. I'm getting ahead of myself. Passive skills are special abilities that are always on. Pay attention to how each one works. First, let's see what happens with an ordinary attack. Attacking does not cost SP. I assume SP is like skill points. I assume that's what that stands for. Choose attack from the skill list and press A to confirm. When you select a target, your estimated damage and accuracy will be displayed. Elemental affinities, critical hit percentage, and more are also shown, so pay close attention. Counterattack percentage is particularly important. This is the chance an enemy will counter your attack. By the way, those numbers are shown up at the top in case you're not really seeing that and paying too much attention to the enemy I'm focused on. Put the cursor on an enemy using pad or stick and press A. So yeah, all the way up at the top there, it shows the damage and accuracy as well, along with critical hit percent and counterattack percent. On the top left is your Digimon's stats, and top right is the opponent's stats. Anyway. Choose end turn to finish your turn, yeah. So, the battle system in this game is, you know, it resembles something like Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem's probably the closest comparison. Either that or, like, Mario and Rabbids. But it's... any of those types of games are probably, you know, a fair enough comparison. As you end your turn, you can face in a direction. You take more damage if attacked from the side or from behind, so choose this carefully. So, yeah. That's one thing I've seen that I will grant might possibly be unique to this game. But I haven't played Fire Emblem. Really, the only comparable games that I've played like this are XCOM games, Record of Agarest War, and something from back in the PS2 era. It was called, like, Soul Nomad and the World Eaters, if I'm remembering it right. But anyway, haven't played Fire Emblem games, to be honest. So I don't know if any of them might have a mechanic like this. It's important to check up on other units in battle. Switch to the free cursor to get more info. B switches to the free cursor. Move it anywhere on screen. Try putting it over an enemy. Hover over a unit. Man, why am I yawning so much? Hover the cursor over a unit to see its info displayed in the upper right. View more detailed information by pressing X in this state. That's odd. For some reason you can't see any information about this enemy. Maybe because you've designed it purely as a tutorial enemy that I'm not supposed to really know anything else about. Anyway. Switch back to the regular cursor and just, yeah. This is no ordinary foe. Aim for extra damage by attacking it from behind. Move to the blinking square behind the enemy. Move. There. Use a skill for big damage. Each skill move has its own SP cost. Choose the attack command like before, then select Blue Blaster from the skill list. Because Gabumon. Move the cursor over the enemy, then press A. It's already over there. It, like, defaults to that. So I don't know why it feels the need to say that. But anyway. I do wish, to some extent, that, you know, I could get some of the English voice actors from the anime and whatever. Or at least something similar. Anyway, you dealt extra damage by performing a rear attack. Flank attacks also do more damage, meaning from the sides. Doesn't seem to have taken much damage. Is this enemy too powerful to defeat? Yeah, that was just for the sake of tutorial. I also don't want to ruin anyone's perception of a particular character or Digimon. Otherwise, I would debate on maybe just doing my own voices. But especially for the human female characters, I don't know if that would be a good idea. I'm not good at imitating female voices, really. Also, I know I've seen enough anime and video games to know that that's not her name that he said in Japanese there. That's the Japanese for sister. So she gets dragged away somewhere that we have no idea. He wants to save her, but gets sucked into some other portal thing. Anyway. Y'all are gonna have to let me know what you think in terms of, like, should I wait for the voices to finish what they're saying, or I don't know. Anyway. And okay, you know you've got your main Digimon protagonist if they're wearing goggles. Like, now that I really think about it, there are some sort of, like, Digimon-specific tropes that I'm picking up on. That is just like, really? I mean... Goggled main character. Good buddy that likes to wear, you know, like... turtleneck-ish jackets. But anyway, I should stop rambling on. So... Oh wait, duh. Let me get my face out of here. So you can actually see more of what's going on the screen. Okay, so I guess they didn't feel the need to caption the little lullaby song thing there. Yeah, and sometimes they don't even necessarily have voice acting for every single bit of dialogue and whatnot. Anyway, the first part there said, "So this is camp, eh?" Or something like that. I say camp, but we're holed up in an abandoned school in the mountains here. Leave it to us to spend our school break going to another school. Not that this school is anything like the one we usually go to. I guess maybe the stuff that's in parentheses, those are supposed to be, you know, Takuma's thoughts. And those, I might just have to say out loud because there's no voice acting for those.
ほら、二人ともそんなこと言ってはダメよ。遊びに来たんじゃないって言われたでしょ。はーい、葵さんごめんなさい。もう、またそうやってふざけて。
That knucklehead over there is Minoru, and the girl lecturing him is Aoi. I didn't talk to him much at school. Aoi's cool. She came here from a different school. We got to know each other more here at camp, and that's mostly thanks to Minoru. The three of us ended up doing our extracurricular activities together. As you play the game, you will occasionally be asked to make choices. You will have 2 to 4 options to choose from. Use the D-pad or left stick to select a response or action, and then press A. Your decisions will affect your affinity with different characters and influence the story. Your affinity with other characters influences the battle backup they give during combat, with differing results if you treat everyone equally as opposed to focusing on one person. You can check your affinities from the main menu, so don't forget to keep an eye on them. I mean, in this situation, it's just kind of a, you know, what do you think? There's not necessarily a right or wrong way to answer these. It's just, you know, kind of up to your preference and personality. But the way you answer will, as it said, have an effect on how the game plays out, especially the combat. Anyway, I'm going to go with Aoi over here. Just because I think, you know, Minoru's attitude was a little bit less mature, for lack of a better way to put it.
Aoi-san, 今日ってどういうコースになるんだっけ? まず桜並木だよね。
今日はそれとここ、それにここもかしら。ミノル君はキャンプの趣旨ちゃんと分かってます？
ああ、この土地に伝わる伝承とか土着信仰とかなんか独自なものがあって面白いんだってね。
So even the way the dialogue goes like this can be a bit Fire Emblem-ish, to my understanding too.
いいんですよ。野山でのびのび羽を伸ばせればさ。
もう、たくまくんだけが頼りよ。ミノル君の舵を取ってくださいね。
いや、僕もミノルの保護者ってわけじゃないし。
ああ。
Yeah, and I guess for these parts I can include the face cam.
どうしたんだ?
Looks like Minoru's noticed something on his phone.
ほら、まただよ。また落石事故のニュース。
Or maybe I shouldn't have my... Maybe not so much with the face cam.
ああ、ここのところ連日よね。大丈夫かしら。大きな地震の前触れだと怖いわね。
いや、それもだけどさ、ちゃんと見てよ。これ今日見学に行くところの近所だよ。
あら、本当だわ。今日の予定は大丈夫なのかしら。
You can feel the tension in the air around here. Someone must have shared the news.
はい、皆さん落ち着いて。大丈夫です。大丈夫ですから。何か問題がある際には先生からちゃんと指示がありますから。落ち着い。
I unintentionally didn't let him finish his dialogue there, whatever. Or monologue. Would it be? I don't know. Whatever. Shuji is an alumnus of Aoi's school, so he came to help chaperone.
安全確保に関しては先生方や保護者の皆さんでちゃんとやってくれているはずだし大丈夫だから。本日の目的地の史跡へさあ向かいましょう。
Why is the word landmark in red? I'm just saying.
ああ、まだやってるよ。修二さんも真面目すぎるんだよね。
2つも年上の高校生に失礼なこと言わないの？
はーい、葵さん。
ミノル君は私が上級生ってことも忘れてはいないかしら。
葵さんも俺が下級生ってこと忘れてない？
How is she not acting like it?
もっとさ、こう、こらーってさ、上級生活で吹かせて叱ったりしてみようぜ。
That's just his impression, I guess, of
そんな
an
の
older
私
student.
にできるわけがないでしょ。さあ、私たちも行きましょうね。たくまくんも。
そうだな。行こうぜ、たくま。
Oh wow, the cherry blossoms are in full bloom. Everyone stops on the way to the landmark to take in the flowers.
いやー、春って感じだよね。
本当ね。自然が豊かな場所だからかしら。なおさら綺麗に見えるわ。
Alright, so I've got 3 options this time, and... Okay, so... When there's 3 of them like this, and they each have a particular, like, color that they turn, like, notice that one kind of turns green, and that one goes yellow, and that one goes red. I don't know if it'll let me see... Yeah. If you look here in the profile, that stuff in the bottom right corner... Basically, your choices go in line with those. So, the more you choose red, it'll go to the left, and similar idea for the other colors. Oh, and then this is the battle backup stats and all that stuff that it was talking about. Anyway, I'm almost, because I've already played through some of this, I'm almost tempted to kind of like, you know, choose something different than I went with before, but at the same time, I feel like, you know, some of these are far more in line with my general thought process and how I would act in these situations. I would generally go with either left or up. I went left the previous time I played. I'm just gonna try going up for this one.
綺麗だな。お花見でもしない？
ダメに決まってるでしょ。歩きながら眺める程度で我慢しなさい。
冗談だよ。
あんなとこにサキとリョウがいるぜ。
先に史跡へ向かっていたのね。
The guy shooting daggers at everyone is Ryo, an older kid from another school. The girl who's all smiles there is Saki. Her looks are famous in the grade below ours. They must be here to enjoy the cherry blossoms too. Then again, I could be wrong in Ryo's case.
わあ、綺麗。満開だね。 満開の桜を前にして舌打ちって人としてどうかしてるって。まったくこんなにもうららかな校外学習日和だってのにさ。
そんな日和聞いたことね
Heh, I thought as much. We're not in any real rush. Might as well look around here some more. As you play the game, you will be presented with choices of where to go or who to talk to. Use the left stick to select a target. Try targeting one of the students walking along the tree-lined path in the distance. You can also switch between targets using the left and right bumper. Try switching targets while you have one selected. Once you've selected a target, press A to progress. Who you talk to and in what order may advance the story. You can target more than just characters, so keep an eye out for unexpected discoveries. If I listen closely, I can hear the sound of a babbling brook. You'd never hear something like that in the city. It's sort of comforting. Cherry trees lining the path are all in full bloom, with gorgeous petals fluttering down. I'd love to just sit here and gaze at them for a while. See, now in these sections, I don't think the character dialogue is really voice acted so much. So, maybe I'll just fill in with my own voice and thoughts there, I don't know. I'm so tired. This camp is weak. Yeah, total weak sauce. Oh well. At least we get a few bars out here. We can kill a little time with that. For real? I can't even get a signal in the school building. Haha, man. What a hunk of junk you're lugging around. Targets that lead to important story conversations will be marked with that symbol. It's a red hexagon with an exclamation point. So keep that in mind when deciding what you want to do next. And if what they do is not, or if talking to a person isn't necessarily going to advance the plot, you get that little just like Pac-Man with sound waves kind of symbol. Flowers are certainly beautiful in full bloom. Yeah, that and the weather makes you want to sit down and take a load off for a while. Now that won't do. We have to stick to our designated course. Aye aye, ma'am. Hey, Takuma. Did you know that the leaves of cherry blossoms are poisonous? That's why you never see any weeds growing underneath them. Huh, is that right? Wait, don't people eat those sometimes? Well, sure, they're fine if you pickle them first. Huh. You sure know some weird things, man. Anyway. Don't even have the option of talking to Ryo at the moment. Oh yeah, we also got introduced to some characters, I guess. So, you saw Aoi, Minoru. This guy's called Ryo. And then we have Saki here. Okay, I think after this particular thing, I might kind of pause for a sec. Anyway. So, based on how far I've gotten in this game and other dialogue and stuff, I so want to give Saki like a almost stereotypical like cheerleader slash sorority girl kind of voice. So that's what I'm kind of gonna go for here. Anyway. Jeez, what crawled up your backside and died? Search me. Let me guess. Shuji and the teachers gave you flack for your cheerful disposition. You don't know what you're talking about. Sure, whatever you say. Come on, it's time to go. Alright. Sorry, alright already. Whatever. Okay, then it lets you talk to Ryo. Also, a couple of quick little things to note for those who didn't necessarily get to see everything so far. On this screen, you get to look at the different characters, see your affinity level with, well, you know, names are listed on the left with affinity levels right next to them. You play as Takuma, so, or Takuma, whatever. So obviously it's not going to show any affinity level for him. And then in the bottom right, for Takuma, you see essentially the collection of, you know, personality that you developed for him based on the choices you make in the game. And then for other characters, you see battle backup, and that... I mean, it sounds pretty obvious. It affects how their partnered Digimon will act in battles and such. That it's gonna show like nothing for those right away, but also if you press A on a particular character, you can get sort of their profile backstory-ish thing a little bit. Anyway, I'm gonna just hit pause on this for a sec, and then we'll resume, I guess, with talking to Ryo. Okay, so that's gonna do it for our first episode of Digimon Survive. Just kind of dipping our feet into it a little bit, but I will say, in terms of, like, story, gameplay, ratio, and all that, this might be a little heavier on the story part for now, but there are certain moments where it kind of fluctuates, at least as far as I can tell. So yeah, just maybe if you're thinking there's really not enough game in this, it will open up. It will have a bit more of that in the future. Just, you know, I think it's kind of more so focused on getting the initial introduction to the characters and, you know, different things like that. We haven't even stepped into, you know, the actual main heart of the storyline as of yet. But we've gotten kind of hints at it. Anyway, so that's going to do it for now. As always, like and share if you enjoyed and want others to see. Subscribe and click the bell to get updates when I post new videos. Make sure you look down in the description for info on other social media pages and how to find those and follow and all that good stuff. And of course, leave comments down below with any thoughts that you have. Also, I am streaming this on Twitch when I'm on there. So it seems like probably Thursdays around 2 to 5. If you hop in then, I might actually, you know, take some of your input a little bit into consideration with some of the, like, decisions that I make and characters I talk to and things like that. So if you want to be a part of the game, in a sense, maybe check that out. Anyway, okay, that's all I've got. I hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I'll see you for the next episode. But until then, stay cool, people.